The important thing is that students learn here and then they're going to return here.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve Stoller.
And I'm Shauna Haley, and this is Inside Plano. Well, welcome to February and the month of love, which feels very appropriate for the city of Love Plano.
Shauna, have you followed all your New Year's resolutions?
I'm hanging in there. I'm hanging in there. How about you?
I started off pretty good, but they kind of go by the wayside pretty quickly.
Well, you know why it's easy for me? I don't actually make resolutions. I have a word that I have as my theme for the year, and so if I fall off of my word in February, it's pretty sad.
That's a good way to do it.
Hey, before we jump into today's discussion, I think we should remind our listeners that February is traditionally one of the coldest months in Plano. Of course, January, we had some pretty epically cold weather. Who knows what February is going to bring, but we want to remind everybody that you need to be prepared as much as possible because you're your last line of defense against the North Texas weather.
And the best thing you can do is follow the 4 Ps.
Yep.
So I'll take the first 2, Shauna.
Okay.
Protect people. Keep warm, dress in layers, check on your friends, family, and neighbors. Protect pets, the second P. Bring pets inside to keep them warm, safe, and healthy. And if you know of an animal that's being kept outdoors, if you see it, go ahead and call our Plano Animal Services Division. The number there is 972-769-4360, and our Animal Services folks will make sure they get appropriate shelter.
Yep, the last 2 Ps, you want to protect those plants. A lot of times we take that for granted, so obviously bring potted plants inside. That's best course of action for them. You'll want to cover outdoor plants with fabric, cloth fabric specifically, and you'll want to water your young trees. Watering actually is a good defense against freezing temperatures. And finally, protect the pipes. Gosh, Steve, you and I have done so much education on how to keep your pipes from freezing and what to do if they freeze. First, you need to cover those outdoor faucets and those outdoor pipes. Indoors, you want to steadily drip your faucets. Open your cabinet doors so you can allow the warm air in your house to circulate among those pipes. Do also turn off your irrigation system. And if your pipes freeze, you'll need to know how to shut off the water to your house. The good news is we have videos, information all on our website, and we'll put a link to that in the show notes today.
Now, for today's interview.
Yes.
It's hard to believe that summer's on the way already. And for our upper level PISD students, it's time to start thinking about summer employment and future career plans. So today we have our good friend Stephen Tanner from our Office of Government Relations and Policy.
That's right.
And we're going to talk about the Plano Mayor's Summer Internship Program, which is very popular and very effective in creating career opportunities for a very large number of students. So welcome to the show, Stephen.
It's great to be here. I'm glad to talk about this program.
Good to see you. You're a former member of Shauna's communications team, so
Yes.
it's always a pleasure to see you and talk to you. We always start out these interviews by asking, totally unrelated, for the person to tell us what is it about themselves, something that we don't know about you.
So all of this talk about winter weather, many people might not know this about me, but I lived in Mongolia for a couple of years as a volunteer for my church and also a nonprofit organization. Mm-hmm. And the winters there can get very cold, down to negative 40 degrees. And so you would have to cover up, just like how you have to cover your pipes and cover your plants. But something I always remember about those cold winters was the moisture from your breath when you would be breathing would collect on your eyelashes, and then they would instantly freeze. And so you'd be going around walking and going like this, opening your eyes to unstick your eyelashes from each other because they would crystallize and have ice on them.
And when you say 40 below, you're not talking about wind chill.
I'm talking about just 40 below.
The actual
and a
temperature.
fun fact, 40 below in Fahrenheit is the same as Celsius. So
That's interesting.
So tell us about the Plano Mayor's Summer Internship Program, Stephen. What exactly is the program?
this is an amazing opportunity for our PISD students as well as our businesses here in Plano. And the Plano Mayor Summer Internship Program, or PMSIP, as we use as an acronym, is an 8-week paid internship where rising juniors and seniors in our school district can team up with our Fortune 1000 companies, our nonprofit organizations, government entities as well, and learn from supervisors and learn business leadership skills, communication skills, and basically give them a leg up when it comes to their future careers and future endeavors.
So let's go back in time a little bit. How and when did the program get started?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Mayor Harry LaRosliere, so right now we have Mayor Munns, who is the mayor of Plano, but the mayor before him was Mayor Harry LaRosliere, and in 2013 he was elected to office. And he went around to our businesses in Plano and asked, "What do you need? What can we do to help you?" And one of the overlining themes that they had was, we need to train our future workforce for careers here. And so he also went to the school district and said, "What do your students need?" And they said, "We need to prepare our students not only for their future educational pursuits, but also their careers." And so he came up with the idea of this summer internship program where he would connect our nationally ranked PISD students with our amazing businesses here in the city of Plano. So in 2014, I believe it was 32 students interned during the summer of 2014 with different internships. Capital One was our founding and still is our presenting sponsor for the program, but they wrote a wonderful grant to help start the program, and it's grown ever since. Last year we celebrated 10 years of doing this program, so 10 summers of the Plano Mayor Summer Internship Program, and I'm happy to say that over 915 students have had paid internships here in Plano because of that program.
So I'm hearing, paid clearly 8 weeks, so a lot of work and local. What are those value points that students take away from the program?
Yeah, they learn hard work. They learn a lot of those soft skills that you can't necessarily understand or learn in school. So looking someone in the eye when you're talking to them, how to do a job interview, how to make a phone call. We had one story of an intern who talked to their supervisor and said, "I'm nervous, I'm an introvert, and I don't know how to make a phone call. So this summer, could you help train me on how to make phone calls, professional phone calls?" So those are those skills that we really want our interns to learn, but also leadership skills and communication skills. We really want them to be comfortable as they go on to their future endeavors, whether it's college, whether it's an apprenticeship, or taking a gap year. But we want them to really have this internship be a catalyst for their future careers and stepping off point.
So, Stephen, the benefits to the students are obvious. What about the business community? How do they benefit?
So they get to learn about their future workforce. So over the past 10 years, they are learning about what kind of culture they'll bring to their businesses. The important thing is that students learn here and then they're going to return here. So a lot of our interns will learn from these businesses, and the businesses get to teach them all of these different things that they'll need in their future workforce moving forward. But more importantly, they get to network with these students. So after they're done with their education, their college, they can call them up and say, "Hey, we have a job opening, and I know you are an excellent worker. You worked on this project for me 4 or 5 years ago. Can you come back and work for us again?" So they get to network with potential future members and employees, as well as really learn about what, I guess, Gen Z and these new generations value when it comes to work ethic.
You mentioned some of the long-term impacts in that these students may come back to the companies and vice versa. The companies may reach out to them. Mm-hmm. Any other long-term impacts?
I think one of the really, I think it's a pipeline. I like to think of this internship program as a pipeline for our students and the professional workplace. And the long-term impacts is we understand that for this internship program, that it's only an 8-week moment in time for these students, but it's life-changing for them. Think about your summer high school days. What jobs did you have in summer high school?
Service station attendant, camp counselor.
Okay, camp counselor. Did you have any high school jobs?
I did. I worked at the roller rink, and I also worked at our local zoo as a junior zookeeper.
Okay.
That's my fun fact that people don't know about me.
Well, I worked at an amusement park. I worked at Legoland, and I got to pick up trash, and I got to do the roller coasters, and it was a very important experience in my life. But if I had an opportunity to work for a Fortune 1000 company and learn those important skills that would have really pushed me forward in my career, I would have loved and jumped on that opportunity. And this is the long-term impact for this program is we're having 16-year-olds and 17-year-olds work for these Fortune 500, 1,000 companies, these amazing organizations that call Plano home. And then they come back, they return, and rather than going off to college and staying in Austin or going to Harvard and staying in Boston, they want to return here to Plano. And so we're training our future workforce to come back and call Plano home again. So we want them to learn here and then return here.
Awesome. So let's get down to some nuts and bolts. Talk about the process from application all the way through maybe some milestone dates.
Yeah, so applications will open up on February 9th.
Ooh, soon.
And it is a very popular program. We usually get well over hundreds and hundreds of applicants for the program. We cap it at 400 applications, though, just because we just don't have the bandwidth and capacity to have over 1,000 applications for the internship program. We're hoping to have 100 spots to fill this summer for the internship program. But again, the application is February 4th and it closes at the beginning of March 6th. And then after that, we will have intern preparation day where the interns who all applied will get preparation. They'll actually go to Capital One's campus here in Plano and they'll learn the elevator pitch. They'll learn how to do a job interview. They'll get skills on how to build their resume, a LinkedIn profile picture that they can use in the future. And then after that, we have a job fair, which will be in mid-April, April 18th. And the great thing about this program is we guarantee that every person that applies to the program goes to the intern prep day, they will all get at least one interview. So whether or not they get that internship, they're being trained for their future careers as well as having real life experience with that job interview. Then after that, it will be around early May, where interns will find out if they are accepted and get an offer for an internship. And then the program starts on June 10th, and it runs from June 10th to August 2nd. For this summer. So that's an 8-week program. They're getting paid $12 an hour. So it's not an unpaid internship. These interns are being paid to work at these organizations, businesses, and other entities.
Wow. So really this benefits 400 students regardless.
Yes.
400 get prep time, they get their LinkedIn profile built and updated, they get an interview, they get all of that stuff, and then that narrows down to 100 who get positions if we have 100 positions to fill. So how do we get the businesses involved in the program?
We are excited for our businesses to get involved in this program. So we have a website, planomayorsinterns.org, and we have a link on the website where if a business wants to host an intern, they can fill out an application. If they want to underwrite an intern for a nonprofit organization, they can do that as well. Or if they just want to sponsor the internship program, they can do that. So we have different levels of sponsorship that businesses can get involved in. The same thing for nonprofit organizations. We have a lot of large corporations that say we would love to help with the internship program. We don't have that capacity to host interns, but we will underwrite a lot of interns. So Nonprofit organizations can also apply to the program, and we can place interns with them for the summer as well. So PlanoMayorsInterns.org, if you go there, there's all the information about the program, as well as for opportunities for businesses and nonprofit organizations to sign up and help with the program.
Stephen, we've talked about this amazing internship program. Are there any other ways that the city is working with the Plano ISD to prepare these students for the workforce?
Yeah, we are working with our CTE group. So if you don't know what CTE, it stands for Career and Technical Education. And so we are working with our CTE students for our big kickoff event, which will be February 14th at the Robinson Fine Arts Center. And we are going to showcase some of the amazing work that these CTE students. So there's a floral arrangement class, there's a cooking class where they learn how to cook in tourism. And so we're going to show off some of the amazing projects and skills that these CTE students have. And we work hand in hand with PISD. They're a great partner for this program, and we want to give their students the best and greatest opportunity they can have to learn, not only in the trainings we have for this internship program, but from the businesses that host them as well.
And before we let you go, is there anything else that you'd like the community to know about this fantastic Plano Mayor's Summer Internship Program?
Yeah, so we're going through a little bit of a refresh. You'll see a new logo for the program. We have a new director for the program. Her name is Amber Zuckerman, and she has an extensive background. She's worked at UT Arlington, the new National Medal of Honor Museum that's going up in Arlington. She has an extensive background in public relations, as well as fundraising and putting together these types of programs. So we're really excited to have her on board to help run the program, and she'll be a great point of contact for parents who may have questions, hopefully students who have questions about the program, as well as our business partners and other organizations that want to participate in the program. But again, for those who are interested in the program, PlanoMayorsInterns.org, that is where you go to get all of your information and to learn more about the program.
Now, if you were listening to the show and you didn't have time to write that down, we will link it in the show notes so you can go there and get all of the information you need. Stephen, this is such a great program. And really, another fun fact that he didn't mention, he's really kind of been a steward of this program and has watched it evolve over time, I think for almost the entire 10 years.
The entire time I've, in one way or another, been a part of this program.
It's been fun to watch it grow. And I would also add business community. You don't have to be a huge business to participate in this. We talked about the presenting sponsor, Capital One, and thank you very much to Capital One. They have made this program so much of what it is. But if you were a small business, that's the backbone of our economy, and we would love to have small businesses involved as well. So please don't think that this is just for our Fortune 1000 companies. If you have a business in Plano, we would love to have an intern work with you. You've heard it. You've got to get the applications in, though, and it'll be opening soon. Speaking of career opportunities, want to remind everybody, we are home to thousands and thousands of jobs in Plano, and it is a great place to live and work. I mean, Steve, your wife, lived and worked in Plano until she retired.
29 years.
Yeah. So it's a great place to call home, and I love how Stephen said we want people to call Plano home again. So please do consider our wonderful corporate community for your next career move.
And you can find the links to more information on many of the items that we discussed here today in show notes, including a link to the Plano Mayor's Summer Internship Program.
Well, thanks, and that wraps another show. We'll be back next month with more interesting things to discuss, and we encourage you, get your applications in. Until next time, thanks, Steve. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen.
Thanks.
See you soon, everybody.
And that's it for our Inside Plano. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did doing it.
If you have any comments or suggestions, send them to us at askplano@plano.gov. Bye.
Talk to you next month. The Inside Plano podcast is brought to you by the City of Plano.